listening to Who Got the Juice podcast. It's an open podcast to new talent, life experiences, and entrepreneurship. Who got the juice? Yeah. Let's do it again. Hello, everybody. This is the Who Got the Juice podcast, and this is episode 5. And this is truly a blessing right here. I get to have the most important guest of the whole season, I could say for sure. This guy right here, I mean, what can I say? He's probably gone through a whole lot and stuff from a very young kid. This is my cousin, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. He goes by Wafflehead, I think that's just it. It's just Wafflehead. But yeah, I'll let him introduce himself right now. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Obi.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. So let me just go ahead and just ask Obi just really quick, just so you can go ahead and elaborate. So Obi does, all sort of like drawings and stuff, anywhere from like anime. And when I made music, he would be the one drawing like for like my covers or whatsoever, like when I would put it on SoundCloud. So tell me a little bit about that, like how you started drawing and all of that stuff, man. Or when did it start?
Second grade. I was watching Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Liked it. Put a paper on the screen, traced it, and then from there on out, it became what it is.
What inspired it though? Like what moment in that saga you could say, or what episode or what,
Kaioken times 3.
Kaioken times 3?
Yeah.
What is that? Dragon Ball Z, yeah?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Goku.
That's when he's fighting against Vegeta?
Kaioken 3? Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I first started sketching those Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro. I was like Yu-Gi-Oh for sure. But you know what? I was like, fuck this. I'll go ahead and just stick to dancing for sure.
Yeah, it's a process of patience, honestly. But
yeah, and then just go ahead and just talk about like middle school and then high school. You kept going or whatever. It was still paper all throughout until when?
It was paper throughout high school, after high school, which is a long time for me.
Yeah.
It became digital on my phone.
He said a long time for me.
It was a long time for me.
Speak about that. That.
I was in 4th grade when I first got transferred to a special class.
Yeah.
But apparently I wasn't special. I was just a little too active.
A little crazy motherfucker.
Yeah. And so they held me back from then. Then I moved to Hayward.
Yeah.
I was held back because I was kicked out of 2 junior high schools from Martin Luther King.
What school you went to?
Depends which
in
one.
Hayward?
In Hayward, I went to Martin Luther King Junior High.
Yeah.
I got kicked out for that one for a fight that didn't start.
Yeah.
I got transferred into a Hayward police station. They had a little...
Elaborate on that fight. How was it and stuff? I mean, I know this story, but this is for like the viewership, for people who are listening to it right now.
Apparently, I went to Hayward and everybody kept asking me where I was from. I said Oakland, and apparently, I guess Hayward didn't like people from Oakland at the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would try to fight me.
Yeah.
And then I guess that last fight was the last straw.
Yeah.
It went down from me to 3 other kids, and apparently I got kicked out, and the other 3 kids stayed in. They got saved because their parents were
from around there.
And they knew the principal pretty much. So.
And then you were the new kid.
And I was a new kid.
Yeah. I feel it.
So I got transferred to a 3-month probation at a Hayward police station.
Oh man, it's a real deal.
I was in there with 5-0 from 8 to 3.
What they had you do?
They had me in a little box. Everybody had their own little box where they can do their homework. And
like a box? How though? Like a
desk.
Cardboard box?
There was a desk, and it was just like
like windows and stuff.
No, it was just a desk with a fucking box.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it was just
weird.
covered up because you had other students next to you.
Oh, okay, just in case they wanted to copy it, or so you won't be able to talk with them, or what was it?
Pretty much, you can't. No conversations, no nothing. Man. You had to be quiet all the time.
It's like detention and stuff. You said
pretty
for
much.
How long? For how long
months.
you had to be there?
For 3 months.
For 3 months?
Yeah.
Man.
It was some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Stuff, apparently.
Nah, you good.
All right, about to say. And, I seen a couple of kids just get taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, by 5:00 because they kept getting there late. So can't pass 8:05. If you pass 8:05, it's done for you 3 times.
Oh, it was real strict then.
Yeah,
real strict.
If you pass 8:05, you were basically already juvie time.
That's crazy. I don't think there was like such a thing here in Oakland for sure. At least I'll tell you that much.
I don't even.
Yeah.
No.
And then in high school, that's when you started getting more into the digital side of things, right? Or you still were doing paper?
I was still doing paper. It's only after I was turned 19, I guess. After my operation on my left eye, I started dabbing or trying to draw with my finger on the phone. An old Metro phone. Yes.
I think everybody had Metro though.
Yeah. It sucked.
Yeah. And for how long, once you got that surgery or whatever, how long? I remember this clearly. I remember I think he would be like literally what is that one guy from Mortal Kombat that has a sword or whatever and then he just has like a wrap around his face or whatever and he like gets to do like telekinesis kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
In Mortal
I wasn't
Kombat?
really into Mortal Kombat.
He was never into Mortal Kombat?
I mean, you talking about Scorpion and Sub-Zero, like
then
classics? Yeah.
Because I remember my cousin for sure would have to be in bed and you had to be like blindfolded or something like that, right? And he wasn't able to like draw, but I remember this guy would really hold his phone or whatever, and he would really just start. I guess you would visually see it, or
I would
or in your mind.
I would just force my right eye to draw.
What's that guy's name? Kenshi. Yeah, bro, Kenshi. That boy Obi used to be on some Kenshi stuff. He used to just go ahead and just start, just getting down this stuff. So yes, I do remember that for sure. Now let me go ahead and ask you, how old are you?
About to be 29.
About to be 29. 29 when?
August.
Yeah, I'm 29 already. I already turned 29. What was it, July 5th? So you're a month younger, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, just really quick. Now on top of that or whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, do you remember the time when we used to go ahead and, so before I would have to go and get dropped off at this guy's house, right? My cousin's house. Just because my dad would drop us off from school in high school, whatever, at a really, really, really early, I would say like 7 o'clock-ish, maybe 6:30-ish or whatever in the morning. I would have to stay at Obi's house or whatever, and then from there on out, we would walk. Do you remember when we would walk down, what was it, 35th? And like we would go like walking or whatever to school. This was a Rice High School, right?
Charter school.
So we'd go to the school. Do you remember we used to talk about anime and stuff all throughout? Like he lived like almost like in a hill or whatever, and we would be like coming down or whatever from the hill, and we'd just be talking about anime. What animes we would be talking about?
Mostly Naruto at the time.
Mostly Naruto, huh?
Yeah, but I'll be the one talking.
Yeah. Nah. So for people who don't know, my cousin or whatever would try to put me on some animes and stuff. I remember early on, I think this was, I would have to say, sometime like in middle school, maybe like late middle school. Like my cousin was trying to put me on Naruto, right?
Yeah, 8th grade, pretty much. Yeah.
Probably 8th grade, yeah. So I used to also like visit my cousin when he lived in Hayward. I remember there was like a pool and all of that. Like we used to go swimming there, whatever. And this guy used to stay up. How late would he stay?
Bro,
you would stay
4
late.
4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
You would still go to school, or you weren't going to school?
No, I was going to school.
You would still go to school? Yeah. So I remember this. I remember my cousin or whatever staying up all night, and I remember because like I would be like, man, like this guy still don't go to sleep, and he would be watching. What was that one show with the dude? He was like wearing red, white hair with a sword, and he had, I think, like a dog as a pet. Inuyasha. That's the one I remember in particular. Like he's like, I don't know, for some reason I used to like remember you watching that all the time or whatever.
It was a good show.
I never got into it or whatever, but I'll tell you this much, like I would go out there as well. Do you remember that one time, bro? Like I don't know why this always, like every time I think about that apartment where we used to live in Hayward, I clearly remember that one time that we went like over probably, it was like 2 buildings right It was like 2 buildings. It was like your apartment.
Yeah,
And then it was like 2 other ones, right? Do you remember that one time? What were we doing over there in that other building? What were we doing, bro? What were we doing?
We were
Nah, but how did we get there? Because I want to go ahead and explain the story. But how did we get there? Are we just walking, or?
Yeah, we were just walking around. There was not
Or were
much
we
to do
coming from
anything
the
in
mall?
Hayward.
Or were we coming from the mall?
Southline?
Yeah, because we would walk to Southline and stuff.
Oh,
I just
that
don't
was
remember.
a long ass walk.
Yeah, that was. How long would it take?
Bro,
Yeah,
that was like an hour.
yeah,
Drenched in sweat.
yeah,
Yeah, because I lived in Tyrell Road.
yeah,
And we have to walk all the way to Southland, which is like
Yeah.
close to the other side. So,
yeah. It was super
man.
long. Yeah, so when we would
We
be
said
coming,
we don't need no $1.50 for no bus. We got feet.
we used to really just be out there just window shopping, huh? So we would come from that particular side. I think it was probably one time that we were coming from the mall because there was nothing to do. We'd either just go swim or we'd just go to the mall, right, or something. Yeah, try to pick up with some girls or something. And then so we would come
With anime.
with anime. So we're coming. I think it was probably the mall. Let's just say that. But what were we doing over there, or how did we get into that situation? I don't really remember exactly what the deal was and stuff. But
So a lot of you know my cousin. That's another thing I go by.
yeah,
Fresh's cousin.
yeah.
So my cousin had a pretty good reputation as
Yeah.
in middle school all the way up to high school.
Okay.
And pretty much a lot of women will come up. There was no like, yo, man, your cousin's cute. I was like, well, what about me? You know what I mean? Like, hey, what's up? But yeah, so pretty much my cousin was getting hollered at, and yeah, we pretty much ended up in a worse situation. It was looking good, you know what I mean? She was looking good. And then we just ended up like, we were like, oh man, we live that way. Boom, 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 boom. We ended up going towards her apartments because she was like, oh, we got pools over here too. We're like, oh, that's cool.
Were they in the front by any chance? I can swear like when I think about that moment, I only clearly remember like one visual, and that was her standing outside of her apartment or whatever. Like she was standing outside of the door. I'm not sure if she had like some like booty shorts or something like that, but I remember she was standing outside her door, and then we're just chopping it up. But that's what I remember from, and then, you know, the other problem came about. But I don't remember how we started or how we entered there or whatever. They were in the front, or we just went in there?
We just went in there.
Yeah.
Apparently, we just walked in there.
Yeah.
Not a few seconds later, not even the 2 minutes or 2 seconds that we stepped into that location, we just got mobbed. We got mobbed. We got really mobbed. We got mobbed by one of those, hola, güey, ¿qué tal, güey? ¿Dónde eres, cabrón? Nope.
Yeah.
We got a dip.
Yeah. So, like, let me just go ahead and just, like, translate, right? And then right now we're going to go ahead and, like,
we got mobbed by some Migos.
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into like, well, I'll go ahead and just finish it or whatever. So we went in there or whatever. I guess the girl was trying to like pretty much like chop it up and stuff like that. I didn't know that she had a boyfriend at the time or whatever. So eventually,
nobody knew. Yeah, apparently the boyfriend didn't know either.
And then I guess the guy came about, and he was like, "Hey, like, what's up? Like, what are you doing?" And then I don't know. Like, I was just like. I remember at that time, I did not work out. I don't know what was going on, but I was just like, yeah, like, I don't know. I remember this like real tough or this real like, it was like, I'm not sure if it was a persona, but I had this great confidence or whatever that once the dude came or whatever, like he was like approaching me, it was like, oh, that's my girl, such and such. I remember clearly looking at the girl and being like, is that your boyfriend? And she was like, nah. Or whatsoever, right? So then all of a sudden it came from being one guy to like maybe 10, 14 guys. Who knows?
The whole building, basically.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of guys. And I don't know how we got out of there, but we're like, at that moment, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to get stabbed or something like that.
We just walked our asses out of there.
Yeah.
They weren't like, yeah, they just wanted to step up, but that's it.
Yeah, and then
nothing more, nothing
less.
And
then we eventually ended up like leaving or whatever in safe terms or whatever. But so that's one thing I do remember when you used to live in Hayward. That's what we used to do a lot. So now talk about this as well. You were never gang oriented or whatever.
Never.
But at one point, you were really
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you were really into. So talk about that too, because there's not a lot of people that I'm pretty sure some people are going to be able to relate. And then you could also talk about like how did all of that change after high school or during high school and all of that, you know? But talk about that, like, because I remember at one point, like, I remember when I used to live in 36, I think. And it was at these apartments, and
2000 apartments.
Yeah. I think it was a 2000. Was it the 2000 apartments?
Yeah, because one on 35th is a 1616 apartments.
Yeah. So I remember.
We lived in a lot of apartments.
Yeah, I remember my cousin. Hey, the apartments was usually the stuff. You know, you'd be able to hang out with everybody and stuff, and just have a good time.
Cause some havoc.
For real, excuse me, I had a burp. And just real quick, I remember at one point my cousin went from. Because we would always play video games regardless, right?
Yeah.
You would either go ahead and have the Nintendo 64 and start playing Pokemon Stadium or whatever the case was.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah,
Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
It was a lot of games. Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, Super Mario, Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Or the Dragon Ball game and stuff. What was that? Budokai?
Budokai, but that was at your house.
Yeah.
That was PS2, I think.
Was it PS2 or was it PS1? PS2, yeah. But we used to like play all of these video games and stuff. We used to always be around, right?
Yeah.
And I remember from one point it being like this guy playing around video games and stuff to seeing my cousin like real life, like baggy shirt with a baggy hoodie, pants down to the knees. Yeah. Pants down to the knees
with a belt, y'all.
Yeah, with a belt, huh? And beanie on. It used to be super hot. I remember it used to be super hot.
It'd be hot.
And
I'd be wearing a sweater and a hoodie.
And I'd be asking my cousin, I'm like, bro, you ain't hot? You ain't hot? And my cousin would be like, you know what? Like,
now that you mention it.
But now that you mention it, I do feel hot. And he'll eventually end up taking the sweater off. But talk about that, like how, like, or what influenced you and stuff to go ahead and, like, be, I guess, this tough guy, because I'm gonna keep bringing up these other like situations and stuff. Even that 2000 fight that you got into, like in the beginning of the door or whatever.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah.
I'm gonna even talk about that, but talk about that. Like, how was it, or what got you influenced? I mean, because you never joined a gang, right?
Nah.
But
I was always around all of them.
Yeah. So talk about that.
My grandpa was a drug dealer. I guess a pretty good one.
You said, I guess a pretty good one.
Well, yeah. He would trade some weed or, some extra for, some food, tacos or stuff like that. So he got in with the local gangs and stuff, and I guess I started kicking it around with them. It started from 37th on Bridge.
I
used to live in front of a lot of people. And from there, I guess my cousin as well, she was very influenced as well. And so her parties would be around the Dubs, the 20s.
Yeah. So Dub is kind of just a lingo whatever for like the 20s. Go ahead.
And I guess a lot of people like me. Because apparently having me fight was pretty much of a show.
Of course.
And that's how I became influential.
That's how Obi became Dukes. Because I remember at one point it was really cool to have like nicknames or tag and all of that. Do you remember
TNT?
That? Yeah. So TNT at one point, TNT was a kind of like a little dance group, right?
Where you at, Spud?
Huh?
Where's Spud at?
Bud? Who's
Spud?
Who's Spud, bro? Who
Eddie.
Eddie. Oh yeah, that's right.
The noodle.
Pull up some TNT videos, Scream Man, real quick. On YouTube, TNT Fresh or TNT.
We also had.
There
you go. We had our gigger.
Yeah. So at that time, we'll call it. Oh man, why do I gotta come up right in the front, bro? So I mean, but you see also in the back, you see also in the back, bro, trying to get his
Trying to get his screen time.
Hey, in the Screen Man, you gotta save this tab, bro, because we're gonna put also on blast, bro, because also has shot this video, I believe, and this was, I kid you not, this was in the corner of one of my cousin's house. It was mad raining, and we're over there in the ground and stuff, Like, you see my nose so red.
No facial hair.
No facial hair. You see my nose so red because it was so cold. Right? Look also in the back, bro. He's like, yeah, I'm about to be the last one. All right, you can pause that screen, man, bro. Right on. So TNT was kind of this group that we kind of made or whatever. Like, it was based on, like, top-notch turfers or whatever. So turfing was, I guess, the code of, you know, the second level of gigging or whatever, right? But, yeah, and then eventually, you know, Obi had his, you know, little nickname, and we called them Dukes.
Because apparently I always end up in a fight.
Yeah, you always end up in a fight. So now, okay, so that was a little sidetrack or whatever. So let me go ahead and also, like, comment or whatever. When I used to talk to Obi, I kid you not, right? I used to always be like, or Dukes. We'll just say Dukes, right? When I used to talk, I'm going to say Dukes. I'm going to say to Dukes.
All right.
When I used to talk to Dukes, this guy he would only see blue. You would only see blue. Yeah. Right? At one point, I remember this one guy came to the apartments. I don't know what the deal was. But this guy was wearing blue or whatever. It was opposite, you know, in this different gang or whatever. And I remember my cousin just, like, taking off at this guy or just fighting him or whatever. I remember that day or whatever. You can talk about that. That boy.
So I didn't took off first.
No.
I didn't took off first.
I gotta save my peace.
Yeah. So this dude was what, 6'4", 6'3". This dude was tall. Mm-hmm. And my little 5'9",
5'10". Okay. Added a little inch. Okay.
Gotta get that little inch. And yeah, apparently I had a reputation. Mm-hmm. He knew it. Mm-hmm. He was just trying to punk me, but it backfired on him. Mm-hmm. The first hit was the last hit. Yeah. Yeah, apparently
him down.
I ended up taking half his lip and his eyelid, and well, yeah.
Yeah. That guy ended up cutting and stuff for sure.
Yeah.
But so this guy, my cousin or whatever, like I said, he would only see blue. This guy would see black and white and the color blue. If it was somebody like gang related to a specific like I guess like gang or whatever, he would automatically get boiled up. I mean, that's from what I remember and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you see this guy maybe 2 years after when you were in high school or whatever, and then he comes back. He goes to Hayward and then he comes back. And this guy is just a total different guy. Like, look at his shirt. He got the Joker. He got the Joker on right now, right?
Yeah.
So this guy would go from watching, like, let's say Dragon Ball. Obviously, we play video games, but then he got influenced into just, like, you know, just fighting and stuff like that or whatever the case was. Maybe it was a little hype, whatever, right? And then you went to Hayward, you came back, then all of a sudden you would not recognize this guy, bro.
Yeah. So basically the influence came mostly from Hayward because there was a lot more gangs everywhere. Mm-hmm. New gangs starting up. There was just weird moments over there. So when you were the only guy from Oakland and everybody's repping Hayward, yeah, you pretty much get looked at differently. So a lot of fighting came from there.
Yeah.
And pretty much the influence came from there.
Yeah,
because I had issues in the same school, which was Martin Luther King Junior High, where mostly the norteños didn't wanted to punk me because I was from Oakland. But then when I asked one of the guys out here to give me the green light on them, I got that green light. Guy never run up again after that. Because if you go somewhere else and you start a fight with a different gang, or you're from Oakland and you say you're from Oakland and then you start a fight in another city, the whole city will try to get you.
Of course.
So you got to get some backup. Be like, yo, can I get the green light on this cat? Boom, boom. Next thing you know, the next day I got the green light. They told me, go meet him. He's outside for sure. He had his OG with him. His whole crew. His whole crew told him to run up.
And he didn't want to.
So I had to run up.
And
then that's what happened.
With that one dude, or on 2000, or are you talking about in Hayward?
I'm talking about in Hayward. Okay, like I said, it was mostly influential in Hayward because Hayward wanted to be like Oakland, apparently.
So when you came back, though, talk about that. When you came back, it's like you literally was.
Hayward wanted to be what? Hayward wanted to be like Oakland at the time.
Woo!
They wanted to match the gangs out here.
So we had the juice, huh?
We had juice.
No, so we still have the juice. What do you mean we had the juice? We still have.
We have juice. That's what I said. You said.
Okay. Yeah.
We have juice.
Yeah. So now we have the juice. So now you coming over here and you literally completely changing. And when I say completely changing, I'm talking about this guy came even with like glasses on and stuff. Like
that was prescription, boy.
That's prescription.
Those I had to wear, honestly. So I had issues with my eyes since I was young.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of people get surprised because I can draw pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So when you came like back to Oakland or whatever,
I feel a lot safer here.
But what made that change? Like, was that watching the shows at, let's say, like 4:00 in the morning, or?
Oh no! At that time, well. What changed mostly is that I have more friends here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a lot.
You felt more comfortable.
I felt more comfortable out here, so I didn't have to really look behind me every day. I didn't have to worry about people.
Do you still feel like you look behind you? I think it's like an Oakland thing, huh?
Yeah, it's always an Oakland thing. Yeah.
Even if I'm not in Oakland, or even if like when I would go to Chicago and stuff and visit, I would still look behind me. Like
but when you're in a comfortable area where you know, there's of course I mostly spend my times around the 30s. And yeah, I never really have to look back.
Yeah.
So but anywhere else other than the 30s,
Yeah, you would have to look back. Yeah. So now let me go ahead and say, so what made that sudden change? Just you feeling comfortable, or?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I was mostly feeling comfortable, but also a lot better anime.
Cause it was a I'm telling you, it was a sudden change. Like
extraordinary change.
I guarantee you, this guy would not fight. He would not fight. Like, if it came down to it, yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he would not be looking for it. He would not be checking people. You know what I'm saying? Up or whatever. And when like when you check somebody up or whatever, like you're running up to them or whatever, you kind of trying to see what they're about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy came and he was just like pause. This guy just like decided to just be this whole different guy or whatever. And yes, he would talk about anime or whatsoever. That's when the skinnies came about.
Oh, I think I know what changed. I think I know what did change.
The skinny jeans.
I had somebody to put me on track, basically. Mm-hmm. His name was Javier.
Yeah.
Javier Garcia. So basically, I always thought I was big dog because I can fight.
Yeah.
No. I learned who big dog was.
Yeah.
But nah, he got some clean hits on me.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah. So let me go ahead and like address that old server. So like my uncle Javier, he will always come. He was always try to pick a fight or whatever. He was actually known as the original panty dropper. I would just say that right now, like 100%. He would always go to the clubs and he would always go ahead and talk about, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this much, and he would always like challenge people. He was kind of like Michael Jordan in the Last Dance Netflix series and stuff. He always was super competitive, and he had to get what was his or whatever. So he would go to the club, try to tell all these guys or whatever, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get this amount of numbers from girls, and you're not going to come close to it. And yeah, let alone he was just known as that panty dropper, right? He would always get so many girls. And I think growing up, I remember just being, I think in middle school, I was already like, trying to talk to girls, getting, girls' numbers and stuff. Obviously going through, like all of this sudden change and, just trying to fuck pretty much. And then I remember my uncle Javier, that's where he would live in 36 or 35th.
36.
That's where we would come down from and start talking about all of this anime. That's that road or whatever. So he lived there. So obviously when I had a sleepover, I was always there with you guys or whatever, right? And he would come from work, like construction, and he would just start laying some hits down. And it was at one point that I was just like, nah, man. Like, I'm not even trying to get into all of this. Because it was every day. Like, you had to go home every day and get an ass whooping, pretty much, right? So you would see Obi right there trying to, like, pretty much fight him every single time. Like, come on, bro. Come on, right? So I guarantee you 100%.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to work out and just get strong, and eventually, like, I'll go ahead and like meet him head to toe, whatever, right, or head to head or whatever. And I remember at one point we would fight this guy, and he was just like, he would tell us, he would be like, all right, you two, like, come at me. And at one point, I kid you not, we would start like, I remember me clearly, like I would start working out. I had dumbbells out the house, and then Obi had some dumbbells, so we'll just be working out. And at one point, we had his ass, right?
We had his ass.
We had his ass. So pause. So we literally, he was just like, yeah, nah. We ain't doing this. We ain't doing this because you guys.
First.
Yeah, you first, and then you next.
Second,
Yeah, and he would go ahead and pin you down or whatever, where he would just have like his knee on one of your hands and stuff, like crucifix almost, and he would just start laying hits, and he would, ooh, I'm over here trying to knock this mic thing down. Yeah, I'm trying to knock this mic down, and he would just, he would not care. If he hit your face, hey, you had to suck it up for sure. But
he'll give you a little Bacardi, drink a little bit. Don't drink it, just
just mouthwash and stuff and spit it out. Yeah, for sure. Close them wounds up. So you think he's the one that put you on that right track for sure?
Wasn't the right track, but he got me out of influential situations where those influences weren't competing with that ass whoop.
Yeah. And I remember my pops would also tell me like, hey man, take care of this guy. This guy's doing so bad. So even in school, I had to put OB on some, try to get him, straight or whatever, just because.
Well, he only do that because I would fight with your neighbor, that big dumbass. I forgot his name already. Punking little kids.
You ain't gotta go ahead and say it. You ain't gotta go ahead and say it, bro. You gotta go ahead and say it. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You let me get the layout of those punches. I was like, yo, man, when you gonna jump in? I'm over here getting my ass whooped. Yeah, it's not the right time. It's not the right time.
Hey, I clearly remember, and even that was even around that same time. So around that same time, I was already like before you would call it body shots, right?
Yeah.
And I was already fighting people, like would fight like in the backyard and stuff like that, and we would kind of like start like hitting each other in the face or whatever, just to kind of get that like those I guess
licks in
yeah. So you can start getting accustomed to getting hit in the face or whatever, and just get that.
But we would never try to actually try to hit you in the face. Just move.
Oh no, that's not even it. Like I remember there was this one guy. He was like gang affiliated or whatever. He would come.
Oh, I know.
Dude, he was old. Yeah, he was old, and he definitely would like land some hits. I remember at one point, this was like the first time I really got rocked. Like I remember trying to hit this guy, and I don't know, like I didn't even see the hit, and I kid you not, it looked super animated. Like I must have hit, missed, and did a whole turn up 360 and landed right on my ass, and I was just looking up like, oh man, started seeing stars and stuff. I was just, man, I literally got rocked. But yeah, that same guy whatsoever, like I remember at that point I was definitely getting good at fighting or whatever, and I was very confident. So the guy that he's talking about, that he would punk kids or whatever, same thing with him. Like I started working out, and at one point it was just really hard for him to start trying to punk him. Yeah, he didn't want the juice. Yeah, he would definitely hit you, and he was tall, right? So as soon as you would turn like around, he'll just like get you or whatever, and he would not like let you go or whatever. So
he'll play it off and be like, man, that's not my strongest hit. Man, you put the whole body weight, man. Yeah, triple long hard looking man.
He was older too for sure. But all right, so you made that transition or whatever. Now I could just say you're wafflehead, right? So you're wafflehead. Now you're going to school, and every single time, let me just talk about this because we got sidetracked or whatever. When a girl would pass and we would be talking about anime, right?
Yeah.
I always told my cousin, I'm like, look.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, look, my guy.
It wasn't look, my guy. Hey, he would be like, yo, shut the fuck up. Hold on.
Nah,
he said, hold on, and then pass by.
Yeah.
And I'll peep out. I'll be like, all right, I get it. Some girls walking by. Shut up.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
Like Naruto was going hand with a Rasengan. And then next thing you know, 2 days later, this dude's making a choreography gigging move with a Rasengan going on. I was like, oh, so he did hear me.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's like, my cousin didn't know how to turn it off and turn it back on. Like he would just.
What was that party where I brought it up and the girls are like, "Is that your cousin?" Boy was trying to say no, but he said, "Hey man, what's up? Chill out."
Oh my gosh, bro!
I remember that one.
Yeah. So what party was it? I clearly don't remember, bro.
It was at, I think it was at 35th.
35th?
Yeah. White building. White house. We were in the back house.
Okay. I remember, yeah. So I didn't get really into Naruto or whatever until we went to Reno. Remember we went to Reno? Went to Circus. And then this was probably a fight or whatever. This was
Gaara versus Naruto.
Yeah, Gaara versus Naruto. And like my cousin just kept trying to get me into anime, and I'm just like, nah, bro. Like I'm trying to get to these bitches, right? But I mean, we're saying bitches in the most respectfully way. You know, we're not calling
hoes.
Yeah, we're not calling girls out of the name and stuff like that. You know, we're just rephrasing to the time, right?
Yeah,
just going back in time. So
I mean, they were.
Nah. Be cool. So now this guy, now this guy, he would really go ahead and be like, "Oh, look, check out this fight." And I was trying to go to Circus. I was trying to get at a girl or whatever, try to get some numbers, I guess, try to get some play, right? And my cousin would be like, nah, like it's premiering. It's, you know, because it was Tsunami, yeah?
Yeah.
It was Tsunami, yeah. So this was like the big fight. I remember we had In-N-Out and we're like eating and stuff. So I guess I tuned in, I watched it, but I wasn't there. I was just like, I could have cared less. I didn't really understand it. So he turned into the Nine-Tailed Fox or whatever. You could pull that up, Scream Man. So Naruto and Gaara fight or whatever. So this guy, like, I guess turned into a fox, and I was just like, what's the big deal about it or whatever?
Let me walk you into that fight.
Let me walk you into that fight. Look at this guy.
Basically,
Guru.
So basically, Gaara was a Jinchuriki, which means he had a tail beast inside him.
You're gonna confuse these guys like that.
Well, they can Google shit.
Yeah.
YouTube, obviously. And Naruto did not know he was a Jinchuriki with the strongest tail beast inside him.
How many tails?
9.
I said hella confidently 9.
Yeah. And so he barely learned how to summon creatures from a different location. So he summoned a toad. So this toad
summoned him from Oakland or where?
Well, hey.
Somewhere, huh? Somewhere.
Where the juice is at.
Yeah, where the juice.
And so the toad
had from the juice.
From the juice.
From the juice. All right.
Ew.
Yeah.
And so he turned the giant toad into the Nine-Tails.
Yeah.
And so that's how that fight became a little.
Yeah. I think Scream Man got the most. He don't even got the right video, bro.
No, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
He just skipped it. Oh, there you go. That's the one. Yeah, so I guess it turns out that this guy turns into the fox, and this guy is just going insane. I'm like, what is the big deal about this? And, you know, my cousin was just juiced and stuff, but I think from that moment on or whatever, I think that's when I started getting into Naruto for sure. But, yeah, so, and then at one point, we'd go to, like, the house or whatever. Then my uncle Javier would start having, like, parties and stuff. He would get, like, drinks, would be watching Naruto.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I just keep burping and stuff. This rock star.
Sugar free.
It's very important. So we would get I think it's good right there, Scream Man. You probably want to keep that though, because we're gonna go ahead and play that old server. So yeah, that's good right there. Yeah. So this guy, like my cousin or whatever, like I think after that little party or whatever, I think we had Bacardi, watermelon flavor, whatever. That's when Katie was around. And like Katie was like one of my uncle's girlfriends and stuff that came from Washington, right? Seattle. Yeah, and then we would drink or whatever. We watched that fight versus Rock Lee versus
Gaara.
It was not Rock Lee versus Gaara, bro. It was Rock Lee versus that Bone dude.
Can you put Rock Lee versus Gaara?
Nah, bro, it's not that, bro. Scream Man, don't listen to this guy. Scream Man, don't listen to this guy. It was not Gaara, bro.
That fight was cool, but the bone guy was dope.
I said that fight was clean.
Look at it.
Nah, it was not that, bro. It was not that. I clearly remember what it was, bro. It was not that, bro. So look, so back to it, right? So it was the Bone Dude versus Rock Lee or whatever, and then from that fight, I guarantee I was like, yeah, this is it, bro. I'm watching this, and then I just started watching it from there on out or whatever, and then. So, and then we had a tragic moment or whatever where, like, my uncle passed away or whatever, right?
It's Rock Lee drunken style, I guess.
Nah.
That's the first time he got, tipsy and he started fighting a little low-key Jackie Chan.
And I think that's what happened. Like, I was, like, tipsy and stuff myself, and I was just like, yeah, this is it, bro. So, yeah. So then at one point, so that happened or whatever. I looked at my uncle as influence. I wanted to go ahead and just be like, oh yeah, I'm getting all of these women just like him or whatever.
I just wanted to beat his ass.
He said just wanted to beat his ass.
I only got one lick on him, and that's it.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah. And then my uncle passed away, right?
Yeah.
And then after he passed away, I think that's when Obi started like kind of taking it serious a little bit. He was like, all right, now I got to start getting some women now, bro. Right? Or nah? Well, it's not that serious.
It was low key serious. Everybody had one. I wanted one too. Shit.
Yeah, bro. Nah, it's not that, bro. Scream man, you good, bro.
Then my cousin.
It was a bone dude. Yeah.
Then my cousin would try to. Both my cousins, Spud, would try to bring out the pimpology.
Yeah. Oh no. So talk about that, bro. Talk about that.
So these guys made up a book.
Nah, I made up a book.
Debatable. And they were all trying to influence me into different scenarios, different like, all right, this is what you got to do. You got to do this confidently. And I was like, all right.
Hey.
But when it didn't work, I'll be like,
yeah.
What happened? It's just you, man. The book works.
Hey, talk about that. So look, I clearly remember this time. This was at I forgot whose house was it, but we used to be playing Mortal Kombat, right? I know what you're talking about. I know the time that you're talking about and stuff.
No, we were at Eddie's house.
Nah, you wanted to talk to this one girl. Remember? You're like, oh, my bitches call me Dukes. And she was like...
You always bring that one up, but I'm still trying to remember that party.
It was not a party. It was a house.
It was a house?
We're just there playing Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
So I was like, Obi, holla at this girl, whatever. And they used to call the guy Pussy Lips or something like that. I guess that was his nickname or whatever. I don't know.
I think that's the one he gave him.
Nah. He had a girl. He had a girl on heels. So I was like, yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
He was always do that and shit. But yeah. And then I guess I was like, Obi, go holla at that girl. And Obi must have gone up to her and he was like, yo, yeah. So my bitches call me Dukes. And the girl was like, yo, bitches? What do you mean? But my name is Obi. Yeah. And then the girl was just like, yeah, nah. But I think you ended up still talking to her, right? It was just a rough intro. But I guess,
was a rough intro. Oh, I think it was a rough intro.
Yeah. And then she was like, you got bitches? And I was like...
I'm still trying to remember the girl.
Bro, she had like curly hair. She was blonde.
Blonde.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably don't remember her.
I remember a curly hair, gorgeous girl from high school.
She used to have a nickname, bro, but I don't know. It was not the best, I think. But yeah, point of the matter, we're just trying to get Obi to just just start like throwing his jabs and stuff.
No. My cousin just said, you know what? I'm tired of you talking anime in my ear. Go get yourself a life. And I was like, my guy.
Hey, but we still talk about anime, right?
Yeah. Now,
what anime you still watch right now? Nah, I'll just go ahead and drop them, bro.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot.
Yeah. So I think the ones that I put my cousin on or whatever, it was Boruto.
I don't watch that.
Hey, nah. I'll go ahead. Black Clover.
I watch that.
Fire Force.
I was gonna watch it.
And I put him on My Hero Academia too.
Psych.
Nah. He put me on My Hero Academia, but yeah. So I guess like at one point or whatever, it just became it was just like parties, and we would always go to parties. I would always like. This guy right here, believe it or not, he was always being ultimate wingman for sure. You remember that one time that we went to the club?
That was not me being a wingman. That was me being a sacrifice, y'all. I want to get that cleared now. So my guy, and this is with my mom and my aunties and her friends and my uncle, Kim Prudis, and my sisters. They were there too. And we went to a club up at Concord, was it?
It was.
It was at Concord, huh? Yeah, I can't believe I can not remember the first girl bitches, but I can remember this moment. So my cousin was trying to pull out like the ultimate Mexican dance move on this one specific girl, gorgeous woman. Damn.
This was when I was barely getting into dancing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then the little buzz started coming about. Go ahead.
And then what happened was that that girl was being protected by what we call whale sharks with teeth. So I got apparently with teeth. Yes, with teeth. My mega whatever giant shark gatons, whatever.
Yeah.
And so my cousin would pull me out of my chair. I was tired. I would get up, boom. Next thing you know, I was dancing. Then he seen these sharks come at him. Dun, 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 dun. That boy pulled the ultimate move. He did a flip. He said, grabbed me from the shoulder and turned me and tossed me to these sharks. I was like, what the hell was going on here?
I was like, this is my cousin Obi, but his bitches called him Dukes. And it worked. Because these sharks right here
did not let go.
Yeah.
Did not let go.
And I clearly remember this day it was another day. Like, they gave him the ultimate sandwich. Like, this guy got sophisticated, turned into a pancake. For sure.
I was one ham, and there were 4 big buns. You know, not good buns, y'all. Not the good ones.
He said not the good ones.
Not the good ones.
Yeah, but I could clearly remember that day. Do you remember that other day too that we went, and it was just us? It was just you, me, I think like 2 other cousins or whatever, and then we would stay going to a couple of parties in Concord afterwards or whatever. Do you remember that one time we got so drunk, and then we had to come back, and we just woke up and we were back home? They said most of the nights.
Most of the nights, yeah.
Yeah,
was
man.
Most of the nights.
Yeah, man. I must have done.
One of our cousins was underage, and he drove our asses home.
It was probably like 16. But I clearly, like, I have so many, like, memories, like, that we have gone in parties and stuff. Like, I can't, like, name any of them. Do you remember that one time we went to Moose? Like, to the club Moose? And then you had, this guy had a gun.
Like quinceañeras?
Yeah, it was like quinceañeras. This guy had a gun. Remember, like, you took it from, like, my Uncle Javier. So, my Uncle Javier, he passed away or whatever in Paz Descansa, right?
But he was still alive at the time. He just didn't know.
Yeah. So I kind of want to make it clear so people, the viewers know. Yeah. So, my Uncle Javier had this gun or whatever, right? And he had it in his closet or whatever, where obviously most people put, their guns or whatever.
Yeah, and I was just always a snoop, so.
And my cousin was really just like, bro. All right, I'm like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to the club. Oh, no, we're going to go to the quinceañera or Moose or whatever. Every Saturday, there was a quinceañera.
Always.
At one point, every Saturday, there was a quinceañera at Moose, right? Moose was in Hagen.
In Oakland.
In Oakland, yes, that's right. So I remember my cousin went, and then he was like, bro, I got the banger, all right? Or he was like, I got the clip, whatever, however you, Glock, whatever you want to call it, yeah. And I clearly remember, like, I was juiced. I was just like, yeah, bro. Like, because you can just kind of feel protected. And I remember we would always go through the train tracks to sneak in because you would have to have an invitation. Yeah. So we jumped the fence or we just ran across, I guess. Yeah, we ran across and then we got
jumped
in.
The fence. Mm-hmm. Couldn't go through the back door, so we went to the side door.
Yeah, and we never got into no problem that night or nothing like that, right? But it was just like some we were just trying to, like, I guess he took the gun or whatever and, just felt overly protected or something, whatever. I remember my uncle, when you got home or whatever, he was just like, hey, bro, you took the gun, huh?
I said, yeah.
Yeah, and then ever since then, you would never see that gun again.
I know where it was.
He said it was under the bed.
Pretty much.
Nah, but yeah. But I remember that time too and stuff. And then, like, I just remember it, like, so many nights and stuff. Talk about the time that we went to, what was it? What was that one house, 82nd? Or ahí donde se juntaba?
Grandpa?
Nah. Donde se juntaba,
Megatron?
Not Megatron.
Whoa.
First of all, who's Megatron?
Jesus. The other Jesus. Long hair. Tarzan.
We would call that guy Megatron?
My sister, Blanca.
Oh, okay.
We'll name him Megatron.
We'll call him Megatron. Nah, yeah, we used to go there a lot, too. And then his brother, by the way, he was, like, the one that put me on reading manga. Because he would always read them.
He was an OG, too.
Yeah, he would read the mangas and stuff. And
comic books, too.
Yeah, and then from there on out, I started getting, like, adapted to reading manga and stuff. Yeah. But now I wasn't there. I would say it was the other dude, que tenía su hermana or whatever. They danced quebradita too. And we would always go there and hang out and stuff.
82nd.
Yeah. But by the way, so the word Megatron, I mean, it may be too sensitive right now to, like, go ahead and even talk about it because there's LVT or LGT.
Who's comparing Megatron to?
So Megatron, the word Megatron, we'll kind of name it, at least when we're younger, right? We would kind of name it when there would be a girl, a guy that was dressed as a girl, and she was transformed, but she clearly wasn't transformed into an Autobot. She was transformed into a Decepticon, right? So I would call Megatrons as a code word because at one point we would go to like clubs in San Francisco, right?
Even house parties.
Yeah, or even house parties. And, you know, here and there, I mean, one thing that I got from my uncle, right? And this is clearly true, bro. Like, I cannot lie. I cannot make this up. My uncle said because remember that one time that he went to the club in Modesto and they said, oh, like, he must have probably took a Megatron or whatsoever, right? And my uncle said that same day, and this is I'm never going to forget this. He was like, if you ever have a doubt, he was like, if you ever have a doubt, he was like, shit, grab him in the nuts.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He said if you ever have a doubt, he was like, grab them by the nuts. And if they got nuts, then you know, kid, right?
So basically, he said, go for the crotch. If you feel something strange, then
cut, yeah. So I started making up these terms, right? Like Megatron and
not to be oversensitive.
And yeah, of course. And then unicorns were the ones that were like the super tough ones. Megatrons, you could see them coming because they still have, you know, a little bit of hair and stuff, you know, in their facial.
Shadow.
Yeah, of course, a little bit of gray. But the unicorns, those are
Adam's apple, huge as hell.
Nah. Those
guys.
those are the Megatrons. Right, you're gonna get in trouble for this. You're gonna get a lot of comments.
All right, sorry, y'all.
And the unicorns were kind of make a
Nothing
term
personal.
because those were the ones that was a lot harder to kind of, you know, distinguish. And not that we're throwing any shade at them or whatever, right? Because it's never been a problem. But that was just we're talking back in middle school, high school, and stuff. So, you know, this was just definitely that's how we would talk or whatever. And the unicorns was a little bit, you know, more of the pretty pony with the horn and stuff. So unicorn was, you know, they would dress up and stuff, and you would not be able to visually encounter anything or
distinguish them differently. You know,
yeah.
Normally, like she was a normal girl.
Yeah. But they'll still have the horn, right? So that was the only problem. So I remember one time we went to this one club, and then I remember clearly, bro, like I was dancing with a unicorn, bro. And I literally, seriously, bro. Seriously, you were there too, motherfucker.
Yeah, but you don't tell me this stuff. So.
Yeah, of course. You were drunk. I mean, this is a podcast, bro. And you were drunk, bro. You were like super faded. And this unicorn had other friends. This unicorn had a Megatron. And that Megatron was trying to influence you to leave the Autobots and go to the Megatrons.
Why nobody tells me this stuff when I'm faded?
Yeah, of course. It's cool. I mean, nothing happened, though, so it's cool. And I remember I'm dancing with this unicorn, right? And her hands were probably as big as mine for sure. And then I remember she had hella calluses. I clearly remember this. I was like, man, like now I have a lot of calluses because of deadlifts for sure. But I'm 505 on the easy day. And I remember I'm dancing with her, right? Plate. I remember I'm dancing with her, and I clearly remember asking her, I'm like, hey, I was like, let me get your number. And she gives me her number, right? And before she ends up, like, saving it or whatever, I was like, hold up. I was like, I was drunk. I was like, my uncle told me to do this if I ever have doubt. And I go for it, bro. And I was like, holy shit.
I remember the story.
Bro, yeah, because I told you about this, but you were just hella drunk. I think you threw up that day. I remember I
threw up a lot, bro.
I remember I went. Bro, I was like, damn, these nuts are bigger than mine. Nah, I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. No, but I was just like, oh, shit, evacuate. I remember I deleted that number. And, like, from there on out, bro, that's one thing that I remember from my uncle, bro, that resonated to this day, bro. I mean, obviously, I don't think I'm going to come across to a situation like that. I think it happens more often when you're young. And, obviously, you're looking out for girls and stuff, and you're just dating, I guess. So, I mean, you could probably still hold up to that, though, you know? You never know, bro. You may be at a club, bro.
Never?
All right.
I'm good.
Because you were dancing with a couple of them. I'm kidding. Nah,
oh my God.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move this. Throw it away. So just really quick, we're coming down to the 6-minute mark or whatsoever. Also make this like somewhat strict or whatsoever, because the first video we made it to be like 1 hour and like 30 or 40 minutes, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Dude, would you imagine that an hour went this quick? Nah. This was quick.
That was quick.
So now just go ahead, say what's going on right now. What do you got going? Like, is there any specific things? Like, is there a project? Is this, and this podcast is for like talent, like new talent, or people that don't know of your talent, or it could be about entrepreneurship, or it could be about life experiences. So it's like what we're having right now, where we're just chopping it up. Obviously, you're my cousin, so we have stories for days.
Yeah, but apparently, gotta watch out our vocabulary because a lot of sensitive viewers out there.
Yeah.
Can't talk comfortably, so
yeah.
I gotta get my minutes in to think what I'm gonna say.
And what do you mean by comfortably?
Comfortably, I'm from Oakland, so that should be like easy to distinguish how we talk, how we express, and how we conversate. Mostly everything has a lot of bad mojo in it. Yeah. So I'm gonna just.
You said what? You can say that. Oh, you could. Okay. Go ahead. You say you could talk about it pretty much.
Well, I'm not so.
Don't say it.
Yeah, no. So it's hard for me to speak
comfortably and stuff.
Comfortably is one thing. I can openly speak up, but what I'm not good at is professionally, I guess you could say, or like normal.
No, well, this is cool. This is normal, bro.
Yeah, because I'm pausing a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's just saying, like, I guess, like, due to the sensitive times or whatever, like, it's a thing in I guess Oakland or whatever, like, there's really no racism whatsoever between like Latinos and other races. So I mean, everybody I guess throws a couple of words freely, and it's just so normal whatever. So I guess he's just saying because it's a sensitive time, he kind of feels kind of like, you know, in a way. I'm not gonna say uncomfortable because you're not.
No, I'm not
but you just don't feel. You know how you could go ahead and
I gotta get used to talking.
You don't want to talk like how we usually talk on the phone or whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so like tell them about like any artwork coming or is there something that you're trying to like, you know, like eventually do or because I could go ahead and clearly just bring up like, dude, there was this. I just don't want to throw too much information on it because I mean, it hasn't, huh?
Ugly Cuz.
So talk about Ugly Cuz.
Ugly Cuz. All right, so. We had my cousin wanted to be an artist for like a cool.
Said an artist.
Yeah. That was some cool detail in there. Yeah,
cool 10 minutes.
It's a cool 5. Let's say 5.
5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a quick art. He drew a clown looking.
That was like a bug.
It had some clown looking features, little horns outside, and the.
The
mantis, 4 horns, and it had a lot of detail. I was like, it looked like a bug. Yeah. He named it. Well, he named it Ugly Cuz. Yeah. And so, I was some inspirational stuff right there. I was like, if he can draw this much detail in 5 minutes, what have I been doing my whole life?
Yeah.
So that's when I got into detail work.
Yeah.
So, I've been learning how to work with pixels because the pixels play a lot of part in digital art.
Yeah.
And so I started to draw more into details, but my art would be affected because I would put more effort into the detail than I would put it into the outlines and and the background, which I don't know how to draw yet.
And the way that Ugly Cuz got influence and stuff is because those
I just remember where Ugly Cuz came from.
There was this girl that my cousin would date, and
I named her.
Nah. You did not name her, buddy.
I was part of the process.
Okay. So everybody at school knew her as Ugly Cuz.
Not everybody. It was just a group of 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 class. 2 classes maybe.
We're seniors.
30 a class.
We're seniors, but our voice would transcend into like the whole class and stuff for sure.
Everybody would hear everybody. We had no walls.
Yeah, we said something and it was just gonna go throughout the whole class for sure. So so I guess like that name or whatever, like they started calling her Ugly Cuz. And then from there on out, it just stuck. And I guess one time, like, I was trying to really just draw and stuff. And then I must have made this bug. It was so ugly. I was like, you know what? This motherfucker's going to be called Ugly Cuz. And then from there on out, you know, that's how I got through. But yeah, so let me just go ahead and just drop this real quick. Dude, you didn't even want that green light feature, bro. And if you don't need, like, now that I'm thinking about it, wafflehead. That was the eyes, right?
Yeah.
Come on, kid. So this guy had this one character at one point, and me and Gordo and Oso. So Gordo is Screen Man. Oso is a videographer.
Let me tell you about the Wafflehead. Let me tell you. So we always had a roasting little thing going on by the bathroom.
That's what I wanted you to talk about.
Well, you should have said something.
Nah, okay, go ahead.
It's cool. I got it. by the bathroom. And so we would have roasting competitions. We have Big Nose. We have the Toucan. We had the Horse Eater. We had a lot of stuff in there. So my cousin was a.
We had Big Head too. Pause.
We have big pause. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
And so my cousin at the time was cutting hair.
Yeah.
Learning how to cut hair.
I actually was working at a shop at the time. But I would be cutting hair at the
No, not in high school. This is in high school.
Talk about that
School.
before you get to the story. I fucked my cousin up, bro.
So I was his little. You seen how barbers have a little dummy that they cut hair, right?
Yeah,
Well, apparently I was the dummy.
Yeah.
I will always be like, yo, like you messed it up. He would just hype it up so good. Like, I would be like, all right, like it's a design, you good. It's gonna come up later on, such and such. I go to school, salt juice. Next thing you know, I get roasted on. That's where wafflehead came from. So somebody, I think it was Curly called it out too. Man, he gave you the whole 880 to the San Leandro to the 66 right here.
Talk about it. He was talking about the freeway, right?
Yeah, 880 the freeway. Yes. So that was one. No, there was another one where he gave me a whole lineup. What was fresh blood, like. All blood. Because
at that time I was learning to
cut
use
hair.
Blade. At that time I was learning to use how to use the blade and stuff.
And I would let him talk on the phone. That was the issue. That was the problem. He would be on the phone
trying to baby for sure.
Trying to cut up hair, and next thing you know, I get the zzz. Oop. Like what happened? I was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So for sure, one time I think I tried doing the design. I guess it didn't come out. So I decided to do like lines all throughout his head. Like I guess it was kind of like a pineapple, you know, like how
a waffle head basically.
Yeah, like a waffle head for sure. And then somebody came through. And was like, "Bro,
get your waffle head ass out here."
And then since then, like he stayed with it. That's his Instagram, by the way, wafflehead35. If you guys want to go ahead and follow him for sure. Yeah. He has dope art. And then he's been dropping some more and stuff. But yeah, so he used Wafflehead, you know, which was a nickname that, you know, they clouded on him or whatever, like with. And he used that and he made this actual, like, you know, what do you want to call it? A comic? Or you want to call
a character.
A character,
pretty
yeah.
much.
And he at one point, it was like crap, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then it started getting better, like. But you dropped it at one point. Why you dropped it? Because me and Gordo and also would always give you hell of stuff. We would be like, bro, like, you know, like.
Well, yeah, that was one of the problems. I had so much influence that it would just keep clashing with what I wanted.
Yeah.
So I just had it steadily get that influence in.
Yeah.
But everything, like, it was flowing. That creative flow was strong. We called it the chi. And so the chi was just too strong for me at the time, but it did give me a perspective of how I wanted to draw him.
Yeah.
I still keep on trying to draw him.
Yeah.
But I still got all that chi coming in. Yeah. And so I just dropped it.
Yeah.
But then I brought it back up again.
Yeah.
And I gave it I think I gave it a cover.
Yeah.
I gave it an official cover. I just didn't continue on with the little project.
Yeah, and I mean, it could have been something so like easy, so small or whatever. I mean, you could do like maybe 6 pages, and we would kind of like try to narrate and stuff, but it was never really planned. But I feel like
it was never planned.
I feel like if you ever like.
I still have all that information. I still have it. Like, I still have a board at home where all my old pictures of Wafflehead are still there.
I feel like if we do finish that, it would be pretty cool. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure somebody will resonate. And I mean, especially if you add the backstory of how you got laughed at or whatever because of you having like all of this.
It wasn't that dramatic of a laugh. It was a roast. You know what I mean?
But you took it from that, and you know. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like in Oakland, you would roast each other, and it was never personal.
It was never personal. Yeah.
Now
people don't get butthurt. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's sensitive.
Damn millennials.
Yeah. So now, if you was to bring that or whatever, I'm pretty sure people will resonate.
Oh, don't call me Wafflehead.
Yeah. Nah, bro, that Wafflehead character was pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie.
You called it Spider-Man and whatnot.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, you said I want to be Spider-Man, so I was like, hold on. Whoa.
Nah, you would get from like a lot of different like.
Yeah, I was into comic books. I was into manga. I was into.
I feel like
believe it or not, I got into Shakespeare.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
But when you would add that green, it'll look green. So I think you should probably keep
the green
that green for sure.
Yeah, the green eyes and the.
Yeah, and then we got like less than 1 minute. I think we actually passed it. And then I guess we'll just leave it for like the end of the podcast. But at one point, this guy moved to Sacramento. So this guy went through phases. This guy literally probably gained huge. Like, this guy was like 250 maybe.
No, 280.
280. There you go. Let's just get some extra pounds. I used to go over there. This is when I started vlogs and stuff. I had this guy actually doing the videography. And this guy.
I was blind, y'all.
This guy said I was blind. I got this guy from like 280 to like easily probably 2 flat maybe.
2.
Yeah, 2 flat. I started getting this guy to work out and stuff, and yeah, man. And then
there are videos.
Yeah, you came back now to Oakland, and we here now shooting the Who Got the Juice podcast. Nah, sorry, buddy.
Let the little flicks go. Shit, don't point at it.
Let the little flicks go. So now we're here at the Who Got the Juice podcast and stuff. So yeah, thank you very much, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm pretty sure, and for those people that don't know whatsoever, this guy whatsoever, we can go ahead and go on and on and on with so many stories and stuff, so many good stories, so many embarrassing stories.
A lot on my side.
Yeah, but apparently just 1 hour. Next time on Who Got the Juice podcast, you will go ahead and encounter the reason why Wafflehead went from being Wafflehead to... You don't got it?
No, I don't got it.
Okay, well, come on, bro. You got to have the juice. All right. Thank you very much. This is Who Got the Juice podcast. This is episode number 5. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to all of the people that are... You said what also? No, nothing. Oh, okay. So you opened the little screen. So shout out to everybody that's watching, right now from YouTube. All of the people that are listening on SoundCloud. Shout out to everybody if you're just at work, just chilling. Who knows, maybe just cooking spatulas, just cooking burgers really quick. Or
nobody cooks.
I mean, I'm talking for the people
Except
that are
your
probably
mom
working
and grandmas.
Probably people that are working at McDonald's. Who knows,
That's not by choice.
I mean, who knows, right? I'm just giving these people this quick shout out, or shout out to the people that are
who in quarantine, laying down.
Quarantine for sure, yeah, because everything is about to close sooner or later.
Lucky.
Yeah, so shout out to those people as well, and then shout out to, I guess, all of the people that, I guess, pointed, just a good energy into something. Like, I decided to go ahead and just, start doing a podcast and stuff. Who knows? I mean, we're kind of building right now. And then shout out to you getting a job.
Apparently.
Nah, all right. Let me just go ahead and talk about this. Look, give me, 5 more minutes.
Nah, say it.
All right, 2.
All right, 2.
All right.
Damn.
Let me just go ahead and just, say
let me get a minute, though.
Let me just say some real stuff. My guy, Obi, bro, has ultimately transcended into Sage mode for sure. So my cousin Obi got a car now. Round of applause.
I'm blind.
Round of applause.
I'll let everybody know when I'm on the freeway, y'all.
I just
so felt I can exit out.
I just felt like I needed to do that. All right, you go ahead.
Oh no,
you wanted the minute.
I wanted the minute. No, that car thing was nice.
Yeah, bro. I mean, hey, my cousin.
I call it Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner, why?
Because it's green and ugly, and it's nothing like the Hulk.
Yes, I just wanted to go ahead and give this guy his props and stuff, give him his roses before he goes and leave or whatever. And yeah, thank you very much. This is Who Got the Juice podcast. We'll see you again. Come listen to Who Got the Juice podcast. It's an open podcast to new talent, life experiences, and entrepreneurship. Who got the juice? Yeah. Let's do it again.